Hello, I'm your new friend Arm, and today I'll bring you a newly launched harem anime named Immoral Guild. It is a very funny and lighthearted anime. Our main protagonist, Mudun, is a powerful hunter. He is in a world where the monsters are very perverted and love to capture young and beautiful girls. Mudun is so busy killing the monsters to save those poor girls every day that he barely falls in love. Therefore, he decides to quit his job to go to college to find his true love. To retain Mudun, the guild finds a lot of young good-looking girls to team up with him. Mudun therefore has beautiful girls accompanying his side, making his adventure journey no longer lonely. The story starts with Mudun resigning from the guild. Mudun's best friend sent him a wedding invitation, which touched him a lot. Mudun thinks he has been wasting his life because as a 20-year-old man, he hasn't even held a girl's hand. Looking back on his life, Mudun has been desperately training to increase his strength to kill the monsters. He gets tired of the boring life. Inom reminds Mudun that he will not get a pension if he retires at such a young age. But Mudun is not worried at all. He has saved a fortune over the years since he was too busy killing demons to have time to spend money. At this time, a new fighter, Kyan, comes to register. Inom hopes this sexy orc girl can retain Mudun, so she deliberately sets them up in a team. Mudun agrees to it without hesitation, so Inom thinks her plan works. But actually Mudun just wants to make sure Kyan is qualified to be his successor. In their first team task, Kyan's energetic look reminds Mudun of himself when just joining the guild. As they barely start a talk, Kyan discovers the monster through her superb sense of smell. Their first battle begins. What they encounter is the less robust slime. Kyan doesn't launch an attack at first and soon gets flanked by two slimes. They slide into Kyan's clothes, which makes her lose his fighting power instantly. The slimes hide in the sensitive part of Kyan. To not cause misunderstanding, Mudun explains to Kyan that there might be some unpleasant intimate touch later on before he starts to save her. After getting Kyan's permission, Mudun decisively takes action, and with his rich combat experience, he soon eliminates the cunning slime. After the battle, Kyan just gets herself dressed when she senses the smell of monsters. They once again embark on the journey of hunting monsters. As a fighter, what Kyan used to learn were the tactics to face the enemy head-on, and Mudun worries that she would definitely lose if she goes on like this, so he teaches her a lot of sneak attacks and trap-digging tactics. But Kyan is too decent to accept those sneak means. Soon they usher in the second battle. When Mudun is ready to launch his sneak attack, the loud voice Kyan makes arouses the monster's alert. To make up for her mistake, Kyan blocks in front of Mudun but just to get held tightly in the arms of the huge monster. She is like in danger of being entangled by a python, and she can't help crying out of fear. At the critical moment, Mudun shoots an arrow to kill the monster. He also discovers that Kyan emits hormones that make the monsters lose its mind and be in heat, so maybe she can be good bait in the future. When they return to the guild to report on the day's results, Inom praises them for their good teamwork to retain Mudun, while Kyan is still apologizing for her mistake. At this time, Mudun reveals that he planned to go to college to find a girlfriend after he has a successor, but he is now worried that Kyan is too weak to deal with the monsters, which may give the monsters chances to invade. Inom hurriedly persuades Mudun to help strengthen Kyan for the sake of innocent civilians, and before Mudun can reject, Inom introduces him another cute teammate, a young white magician, Ange. But Ange mistakes Mudun a pervert who just wants to pick up girls, so she refuses to team up with him. Mudun explains that he is not interested in children like Ange, which angers Ange even more. She hits on Mudun's head with her wand. Mudun is depressed and complains to Inom that in his past, he was either killing monsters or called by others to offer help in activities, even in an activity where couples gathered. As a single man, he can only envy his peers falling in love, which makes him determined to find his sweet love. Mudun has already made up his mind, and in order to find someone to take over his work of protecting civilians, he accepts Inom's proposal to allow Ange to join the team. Mudun hopes either Kyan or Ange can become a good guard. When setting out again, Mudun tells his two companions about the duties of the guards. Hunters, fighters and magicians are all known as guards, whose duty is to protect the town and residents from harm by monsters. After introducing some basic knowledge, Mudun takes the two newcomers to start hunting slimes. Mudun thought Kyan should be able to defeat slimes since she has suffered a loss last time. Unexpectedly, Kyan still takes a head-on attack this time, again losing to the slimes. One slime locks Kyan's hands while the other attacks her from behind. Seeing Kyan in an embarrassing posture with the slimes, Ange decides to give a hand but got stopped by Mudun. He warns her not to show up easily as magician is a long-range occupation. In the end, it is Mudun who eliminates the slimes while Ange cures Kyan with healing magic. Her healing seems to make a faster recovery than that of other white magicians, so Mudun starts expecting Ange to take over his job. Just then, a giant slime at a higher level shows up. Kyan uses her powerful skill this time, which can not only dodge enemies' attacks, but also hit the counterattack with high damage. But if the enemy does not attack Kyan, the counterattack can't be triggered. The giant slime gets around Kyan and grabs Ange. Mudun soon shoots an arrow to shatter the giant slime's arm. The slime senses the danger and flees immediately. It isn't a smooth day, so Mudun decides to stop the adventure for today and go back to the guild, where Kyan again keeps apologizing for her mistakes while Ange shows her gratitude to Mudun with a blushing face. She recognizes Mudun's strength and promises to help the team when she has no classes. Only now does Mudun know that Ange is just a first-year student in high school. Mudun is worried that those perverted monsters will take advantage of Ange just like how the slimes did to Kyan. He can't even imagine the blush-inducing scene, so he immediately asks Gnome to change the rules to only allow adults to join the guild. This is the end of the first episode. The first episode of Immoral Guild has just been aired, and more beautiful characters with different personalities will appear in the story afterwards. Mudun, who has never had the chance to fall in love, will have the happiest time of his life. I think Mudun may remind you of yourselves at a younger age, when you spent all the time playing video games, ball games, or attending some other events. School life is like a fleeting show, and only when it goes by can we realize that we have missed the best time to fall in love. Pure love in school days is always attractive. Well, if you want to see any other romantic anime, just comment below. If your comment gets a lot of likes, it'll be the next anime for me to recap. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and just click on my channel to see more interesting anime recaps. See you in my next video.